Welcome back to Recapit. Today we are going to recap a 2006 adventure movie titled Apocalypto. As the Mayan kingdom faces its decline, a young man is taken on a perilous journey to a world ruled by fear and oppression. But before we begin, please consider subscribing to this channel. Now without wasting any further time, let's begin, shall we? Jaguar Paw, his father Flynn Sky, and their fellow tribesmen come across a procession of deportees fleeing warfare while hunting in the Mesoamerican jungle. The leader of the group explains that their lands have been destroyed, and they are looking for a new beginning. He requests permission to travel through the jungle. Flynn Sky tells his son that the visitors were terrified and warns him not to succumb to fear. The lineage gathers around an elder that night, who tells them a foreshadowing story that cryptically foreshadows the events and themes of the larger story depicted in the film. Before chatting with his very pregnant wife, Jaguar Paw returns to his hut and applauds his small son Turtle's run. The tribe's village is raided by leader Zero Wolf at 7 a.m. the next morning. The huts are set ablaze. Many villagers are killed, and the adults who survive are imprisoned. During the attack, Jaguar Paw runs into a pit with his wife and son. Returning to the fight, Jaguar Paw nearly kills the sadistic raider Middle Eye, but is apprehended when Middle Eye realizes that Jaguar Paw's father is Flint Sky. He kills Flint Sky and renames Jaguar Paw in jest. Almost immediately, the raiders bind the captives together and march them through the jungle, leaving the children to fend for themselves. 7 turtles remain trapped in the pit. A badly wounded captive nearly falls off a cliff while being dragged by the other captives on the coca leaf journey. He is killed by Middle Eye after climbing back to safety, angering Zero Wolf, who threatens his fellow raider with death if he kills another captive without permission. As the party approaches the raiders' origin Mayan city, they come across raised forests and vast fields of failed maize crops, as well as villages that have been decimated by an unknown disease. They then come across a plague-infected little girl who predicts the end of the Mayan world. Females are sold into slavery once the raiders and captives arrive in the city, while males are escorted to the top of the step pyramid to be sacrificed before the Mayan king and queen. 2 members of the party are sacrificed, but as the Jaguar Paw is laid out on the altar, a solar eclipse causes the high priest to pause. The Mayans interpret the event as a sign that the gods have been appeased. The true purpose of the sacrifices, according to a glance shared by the high priest and the king, is that they are a political tool used by the elite to pacify the unsuspecting and fearful masses who are suffering from famine, disease and poverty. Despite this, the ritual ceremony concludes and the remaining captives are spared. The raiders then take them as target practice and offer them freedom if they can flee to safety. Although Jaguar Paw is wounded by an arrow, he kills Zero Wolf's son Cut Rock and flees into the jungle. Zero Wolf, Middle Eye and 7 other wolves pursue him into the jungle. Jaguar Paw recalls his father's fear lesson and vows to kill his pursuers. The raiders are killed one by one, either by Jaguar Paw's traps or natural disasters, until only 2 men remain. The drought ends, and heavy rain falls, threatening to drown the Jaguar Paw's family, who are still trapped in the pit despite their best efforts to flee. 7 gives birth to a second son, who is born beneath the dangerously rising water surface. Meanwhile, the 2 remaining raiders pursue Jaguar Paw through the undergrowth to the coast. As they approach the beach, all 3 are stopped in their tracks and stare in awe at a strange sight. The Spanish and their ships have arrived in Mesoamerica, and the conquistadors are making their way to the shore. While the raiders are perplexed by the alien invaders, the Jaguar Paw turns and flees. Jaguar Paw returns just in time to save his family from the flooded pit and is ecstatic to see his newborn son. The reunited family later gazes out over the water at the Spanish ships. The family returns to the jungle to seek a new beginning, and Jaguar Paw decides not to approach the strangers. And this is where the movie comes to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, until next time.